So today we are going to start with discussing about the syllabus, right? Which things we are covering, and in the depth of that, how it can be useful for us to understanding in detail. So this is not actual going to presentation; it's very high level, but there is so
Okay,
much and deeper as well. So we'll guide you one by one. Okay. So
okay.
mostly we are covering the concepts of ISO 15022 means it's called empty messages. Okay, it's called message
Mm-hmm.
standard, and ISO 20022 messages both. Okay, but basics as well we are covering, which is not mentioned here. Okay, um, based on that, what were the previous payment methods, right? We use like check, cash, okay, wire transfer, electronic payment, and the terminology around it, who is payer, who is beneficiary. Why I'm giving force to these things, payer and beneficiary, because this terminology is going to interchange in ISO 20022 now. So who is payer,
Mm.
beneficiary, acquirer, issuer, this kind of concept we're going to see in coming, and that wording we have to use for in our day-to-day life, so it can be more familiar for you that okay, what exactly we are doing in this thing. I will
Okay.
time to time I will guide you which things are for example elements. Then we have fields. We are not calling any more fields now as per MT, we are calling them elements. Now
Mm.
the concept is like we no more calling as a bank, okay, we're calling as agents. So this kind of a concept is which is earlier in MT, it is no more in MX. So this kind of terminology I'm going to use on and off in your presentation. So this is just a very high level thing which I present you, which things we are covering here. So for example, in second green color we have mentioned payers. Payers means who is
Mm.
sending the payment. Payer, his bank. Payer, financial institution. Beneficiary, okay, sender, and somebody who is receiving the payment, it's paying. And intermediaries are if you don't have direct relationship with the bank, so intermediaries will be there. Okay, one more thing, so I am giving this training since long time, right? More than a year.
Mm.
So everything is by hearted to me, and the flow, right? When I'm speaking with someone, automatically my flow get increase. I speak fast, and what happened that I though I know that I'm giving session to someone, but still if you
Mm-hmm.
think that I am going so much fast, just stop me there, or just tell me that okay, can we go slow, or like that something. At least at least you speak up, right? I mean to say,
Sure, sure,
okay,
sure.
let
I'll
me
do
know,
that.
as per your space. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, then here we are going to discuss in a detail about what are the terminologies of suspense account, what is the mirroring of account, what is nostro account, vostro account, loro account. Okay, so because this terminology is going to help you for giving the intermediary agents and correspondence. If two banks in the world don't have relationship with each other, right? For example, in marriages, what happened that third party apps are getting involved to get relation between two peoples. Like
Mm.
Panditji is coming into picture, right? So they just Panditji from groom side, Panditji from broom side, both, right? So like this here
Mm.
also, if you do banks in the world, for example, Bank of Nigeria don't have relationship with Indian Bank, HDFC Bank. So here US Bank will do as a correspondence. So correspondence means they act on the both side. They help to tell the transaction both sides. So this kind of information which is passed between two banks, it is correlated with the concept of nostro and vostro account. Don't worry on these things. I am going to cover in detail. I'm just discussing with syllabus now. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, sure.
discussing actual training is not started. I'm discussing with the syllabus how we are what we are discussing. Okay. Then we have different payment methods we used in the past. Okay, that we are not going to discuss definitely, like checks payments, and though are no more useful for us, but we're definitely going to discuss RTNS payment, real time net settlement, automated batch system, what are the card based payments, what are the electronics payments, those things we are definitely discussing. Okay, so and if you see on the right hand side, there is a payment settlement cycle or payment initiation cycle. We are going to discuss this thing in very much detail with using all the messages of empty messages and packs messages, because in interviews only the question play around this only. If you are able to explain, there is a flowchart I will share with you once we start the training. If you explain that flowchart properly end to end, that question is always there, can you explain the payment transaction life cycle end to end with your messages. So why I'm giving force to this question and answer, and because many client interviews are focused on this only. Once you are enter into this banking system, then you are ready to work for any messages or anything or any banking applications, but their entry point is to clear the crack the interviews, right? So
Hmm.
for this
Yes.
one, this is very important of understanding the concepts of payment here. Then
One doubt here.
go ahead.
Here that is card payment is also you are going to
Uh,
teach.
Card payment I am not going to discuss here. The
Okay.
only flow I am telling you how the payment will work. Okay, I'm going to say we are
Okay.
going to discuss the what are the different card systems are there, like American Express
Mm-hmm.
card, then your Rupee card, then your Amazon card. Okay, so card is something ISO 8553. Okay, which is totally
Hmm.
different area. So that's
Correct.
not my area, it's totally different area,
Okay.
ISO 8553. And only card payment is not important, we have to learn products of also like Timmons. Timmons is the product of card. Then another product you have to learn is like what's his name, I forgot now. I will tell you. So you have to learn that products also. Okay. So
Okay.
okay, there are two three products are there of that. Only that you have to learn. Then only card based system will work. I will tell you the flow of ISO 8553, but I don't have depth knowledge of that because I never work in my career in that. I
Okay.
only work on the ISO and MT messages with the different banks. Okay,
Okay.
but at very high level, we are going to touch base that also, right? So mention here. Then
Mm-hmm.
if you go to the third point, there are different types of transaction here. Then we are going to discuss based on the value, based on the messages, processing time, then based on credit or debit. Okay, based on uh, payment direction, whether the payments are inbound and outbound, based on the real time payments or real time or batch payment system. So those kind of payments also we are going to discuss in detail way. Okay,
Okay.
then we are going to discuss about basics of payments of CBPR. Means CBPR means cross border payment. Okay, so cross border payments is root cause of is root in the MT messages also and MX also. We're going to discuss what is Swift, their origin of Swift, why Swift is constantly around BIC, all the banking identification code, or you can say business identification code BIC. Then about Swift code, then Swift rules and guidelines, how Swift rules and guidelines are defined. Those are thousands, more than thousand rules are there, but at least you should know what are rules and how they are derived. So that kind of things we're going to discuss. Then we are going to discuss how clearing happen. If you see the diagram on the left hand side, like RBI, how do the RBI do the clearing of each and every banks in the end of the day or in a batch system, that also we are going to study apart from clearing on these things. Okay, and if you say there
Okay.
is a central bank here and central bank at the end do settlement. So RBI in case of India, RBI is here. In case of US, Fedwire is there. In case of UK, Bank of England is there. So this kind of clearing and settlement will do. Okay, so this is, if you come on the right hand side, payment system is there. First of all, messaging, clearing and settlement, three parts is there. One more is there, payment initiation. So payment initiation covered in the messaging only. So our main job is around to understand all the messages. Clearing and settlement is done by the individual country specific. Okay. For
Okay.
example, how RBI do the clearing, we don't know this thing in detail. That's the totally insider. Okay, and nobody will
Hmm.
ask you and discuss how that as well. How this done, how Fedwire works. We'll discuss a very high level. This is the message come, but inside what happened, only employees knows, and nobody will expect
Hmm.
from you also for interviewer that you should know everything about this inside. Only they will play you around the messaging systems. Okay, and at least some
Okay.
basic concept of clearing. So clearing has
Hmm.
two type. We are going to discuss netting, bilateral clearing, netting and clearing house. So on the one side, on the other side, the Swift real time final settlement system, RTGS. So those are the clearing system which we are going to discuss that as well. Then if you see the
Okay.
below diagram, we have RTGS or RTNS, real time gross settlement or real time net settlement. So that also we are going to discuss in a detailed manner uh, the two concepts of settlement, clearing and settlement. Okay, then we shift to our training to the all the empty messages. We'll start from the basic one message. We are going to deep dive on single message of MT103. On the similar line, we are going to learn MT199, MT195, MT102. There are so many messages on the similar line, but at least 3 sessions or 3 hours I will take for MT103. MT103, each and every part of MT103, like basic header, application header block, user header block, text block, trailer. So each and everything we are going to discuss in a similar manner. we are covering MT1 series, then we are discussing about MT2 series and MT9 series. So total
Okay.
three messages we are going to. Why we are discussing only three? There is, if you see the abound diagram, the first one is called messaging, clearing and settlement. So messaging is first part, second is clearing. In clearing, bank actually do the transactions. So that is MT202 here. Okay, MT102 is payment initiation and clear passing.
Okay.
In it at the end, a reports had been generated. So that report and settlement and settlement, that settlements are generated uh, for the credit side or debit side, and the transaction wise that report is in series 9. So depending on there are different messages, MT900, MT910, 940, 950. We are going to study those as well in a detailed manner. Okay.
Okay.
Then while doing this payment processing, what things come into the picture for any payment engine, which things are very important. So if I say payment engine, like Finacle, right? Finacle is a payment engine, like
Correct.
FlexCube. FlexCube is a payment engine. Then we have banks for TCS, BANCS banks, then GPP. These are the famous payment engines. So how they work at very high level, we are going to discuss on that. And what things are included in there when payment is processed. So this thing also we are taking into consideration. Okay, so in that accounting, cash management, fees and charges, fraud management means anti money laundering, right? Or you can say
Mm.
AML check, or you can say sanctions. Sanction also word which come into fraud management. You heard the word sanctions? In
Yes.
sanction, right? Any country has given sanction means
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
that
know.
country is restricted, like mostly Arabian countries are sanction countries. Then if your payment falls into three pair, exception reporting, report of the payment, then honors and offers payment, that also we are going to discuss. Then swift payment, return payment and reversal payment in depth, that also we go discuss. And swift and SEPA, what is the difference between SEPA and swift payment, those we will take a high level overview. If you come to the right hand side, same thing as mentioned in a diagram and manner, right? Payment investigation is a very crucial part that required original payment engine, the logs. Okay, but I will give you a very high level that how payment can be investigated when to fall into the repair, or the payment will fall into the queue, that how to identify payment repair. Okay, this is same thing mentioned in complete this section. Then if you
Okay.
come to the ISO 15022 here, and part 1 we are going to discuss widely used messages. Okay, then some basic information about this ISO 150. There is a website, there is a URL, there is a swift guideline. So I will show you everything one by one.
Okay.
If you see at the end how the life cycle of any ISO 15022 is there, so we'll discuss that as well in detail. Okay,
Mm.
then if you come to the ISO 15022, what is the advantages of this in the past days? So that at very high level we'll discuss like automation efficiency, reduce operation risk, precedence of ISO is the basics of ISO 20022, categories of messages which is widely used. Okay, then structure, format, richness. So this slide is no more helpful now because already we have migrated, but still we should understand that how the ISO 15022 is important. Okay, earlier because almost 30 years, 35 years it was working, and from yesterday I think we already migrated. So maybe
Yes.
we cannot, definitely many banks has not compliance with this, but still one by one they will definitely will do in future. Okay, then we are going to discuss in a detailed manner the blocks of each messages of MT103, MT101, how that blocks is made, each and every word of that block, what is their use, why they are introduced there. Okay, if the block is there, what is, where is, we can see the big there. Okay, bank code is there. Okay, the settlement amount, the settlement instruction, what, and each and every tab of the block we are going to see in detailed way. Block 1, block 2, block 3. So normally block 1 is the initiation of payment, block 2 is the receiver of the payment, like block 3 contain your additional information, whether it is a cover payment, whether it is UVTR is there. So this information is mentioned in block 3. Then come to the block 4. Block 4 contain actual payment information, so that will also discuss. And block 5 contain your security information about the payment authenticity or payment authenticity. There is some checksum is available, so the receiver of the bank will do the checksum and introduce that whether the payment is original or not, or somebody tampered the payment. So there is some alphanumerical check happen for the checksum. So this includes, structure of the message.
Okay.
Okay, then we are going to learn messages about its how the messages has been formed. MT9 series message or cash management message, typically customer payment and check. MT1 series financial institution transfer. MT2 series, MT3 series treasury market. MT4, MT3, these are the market which we are not going to study. The widely used market, I'm just donating here what are the all 8 markets are here. Okay, MT8 series, 7 series, 6 series, 5 series. We are going to study only MT1 series, 2 series and 9 series only. Others are not important from ISO migration point of view. Those are not going to migrate it. Only these 3, and many banking projects around play around only 3 messages only to us. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have how this MT103 is written, like security market. One is security market, 2 is settlement, or 3. I mean to say we are going to study and discuss in detail that how MT103 word is used, how that is also written in nice way. If you see at the top is mentioned MT1 name combination MT message text. MT means message text and then 3 numbers. So how that is been defined. Then we are going to study the category 1 messages in detail. Okay, that is basically customer payments and check. So if you say it is request for transfer, first of all the message, it is happening between customer and customer. Though banks is there, banks is only a medium there. Banks is not a originator of payment. Originator of payment is a customer or a person here. If you see on the right hand side, there is a green mark here, MT103. Single customer credit transfer, you can single customer, multiple customer credit transfer. On the orange side, on the left hand side, MT102, MT102 STP, MT102 remit. Means I mean to say here STP means straight through payment, right? Straight through payment. So that payment will not require will not stop anywhere. It will be passed without any hurdle there. So those are step through payment, so straight through payment. So that also we are going to learn in detail. There is one more payment concept, MT104, which is called direct debit. Okay, direct debit messages for autonomous payment. For example, your home loan EMI or your Netflix bill or something, Amazon, right, subscription. So that is paid automatically, direct debit. So that concept also we are going to learn, direct debit, single customer request for transfer. That's for category 1 messages. Okay, so we are going to learn that also in a detailed manner about this one.
Okay.
Then come to some of the messages of series 1, like 121 interbank fund transfer. Those are not important, but still I will walk you through quickly on these messages. Then advice of charges, interest adjustment, 190 message. Then request of payment and charges, interest expenses. If you already paid the payment, but some bank will ask about more charges of this one if somebody has paid. So that is request for charges, MT191. See, once you learn MT103, right, in a detail, you understand,
Mm-hmm.
then other messages are very easy to understand. Don't get confused about this so many messages you are going to learn. No, MT103 is
Okay.
sufficient to learn. Other messages you should aware of that this message also exit. And if you heard somewhere that okay these messages are there and I have not discussed with you or I have not put in my syllabus, then again you will say
Mm.
that okay I have not I, I have not given you full training. Okay, but these messages are very less use. I'm telling you upfront only, but still we
Okay.
are going to learn these messages as well. Like queries you
Okay.
can ask in one of the messages like MT195. If you see on the right hand side, MT195 you can ask queries. MT196 you can get answer of the queries. MT199 plain text is here, my payment is coming, will you reply to my payment or not? So it's like a free text message also will be there. So these are of MT1 series messages. Then if you see MT2 series messages, so MT2 series messages are bank to bank messages. Bank to bank means here only bank is initiating a fund and bank only receiving the fund. So this is a fund happening between two banks only. So there are different kind of messages, MT200, MT201, 202, 202 cover, 204, 292, 295. So almost similar messages in this flavor of your MT1 series. For example, MT295 is a queries, right? Then cancellation message, then free format messages, which is like earlier. So we are going to discuss all these messages as per our timelines. Okay, after mt1 going to mt2. So we have large scope. Okay, we have huge scope of discussion. So we're going to learn in a detailed manner. So now I'm explaining like anything which just for you, that okay, mt200 we're going to learn, but each message will take good amount of time to explain and to learn as well.
Okay.
Okay, so this is mt200 series, which is bank to bank. Then we are going to learn the reporting series as well. Confirmation of debit or confirmation of credit, category of message. This is statement messages. If you see, we are learning MT900 confirmation of debit. Your payment is debit or not. Then MT9 series confirmation of credit. MT940 customer statement messages. Interim transaction report. MT942, 940, 950. 950 also there. We are going to learn that also. It's not mentioned in this diagram, but 950 message also there. We are going to learn that also. 940 message also, 950 also. And we are not only going to learn these messages, we are going to learn their corresponding ISO20022 message also, which I am showing in the coming slides. Okay, so this is the messages. MT950 statement message, MT995 queries, 99996, 99. Okay, this kind of message also we are going to see. Then we'll come with our ISO20022. In ISO20022, why we are using ISO 222, what is significant, what is use of this, what is methodology we are following, because ISO means ISO 220 means MX messages, X means XML. Okay, and these messages are based on XML. If you see on the right hand side mention, unlike the text specs open cryptocurrency messages, it is called your XML messages. Okay, like that. So this is XML messages.
Okay.
Then we have ISO 222 messages for future proof. I mean to say there significance of these messages. It is future proofing, compliance, richer data. I want to say we are going to discuss what are the advantages of this ISO 222 messages in detailed manner.
Mm.
Okay, so the category of the message we are going to discuss is starting with pain messages. Pain means your MT101 messages. So we are going to discuss in a detail, in a very much detailed manner, what are the structure of the pain messages, what is the structure, what is each and every content of this message. Okay, and what are the views of this message. For example, if I show you here, this is one of the message. We are going to learn each and every, this is pack set message. Like this only we have pain messages. So we are going to learn each and every field of this message, each and every field element of this message, why it is here, why it is implemented here, why this tag is here. So such a detailed presentation will have on these messages. Okay, and not only this presentation, but have some sufficient document also to understand how this message is formed. That PDF document is given by Swift only. We are going to discuss that as well. Okay, pain packs. Then packs messages, payment and clearing and settlement. Okay, just now we saw one of the messages, right? Packs 8, same here, packs 8 message. Then campty messages we are going to learn in detail. Okay, then we are going to learn one of the product as well. It is called Swift GPI product. So this is one of the project also will I will give you what is Swift GPI product. So this will also help you to understand the end-to-end product payment tracking of this product. Swift GPI is the product global positioning interface. Okay, that's called
Okay.
Swift GPI and why it is used. So everything we are going to discuss. Okay, so at very high level till here we are going to discuss here, and apart from that there is some concepts of investment banking also. So if you have stamina after that, there may be one or two session I will take for um, to learn about investment banking concepts as well, and some agile concept as well. Okay, so both
Okay.
both concept will also cover apart from this. And while I'm discussing each and every presentation, I'm going to discuss the possible interview questions also and their answers as well. So you are going
Okay.
to learn both things simultaneously. Okay, that's the
Okay.
current scenarios. Okay, and then we are going to see some use case also, live use case and production issues of ISO 222, means after migration or while migrating, what are the issues we are facing and how to get solution of this one. So those
Okay.
presentations also have migration. Those are not mentioned in the slides, but those also we are going to discuss in detailed manner. Okay, so
Mm.
this is at very high level things which we are going to discuss one by one in our coming session. Okay,
Okay.
So what I can do now, if you are happy to continue today, okay, how much time you have spent?
Half an
Uh,
hour.
Half an hour we did, right? Okay. If you are happy to go ahead with today, I will do more than I will cover some more slides of this. If you say we'll start from tomorrow on the thing, we'll start from tomorrow as well. Okay. So I
Anything's fine for me.
anything's fine, right? So what I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do, okay, what I can do instead of going your burden today, right? Everything, the syllabus we discuss,
Mm-hmm.
right? I will share with
Mm-hmm.
you syllabus. Just go through it.
Okay.
Okay, you think that okay, these things are sufficient for you, or anything you want to add or remove? Maybe because I designed this is based on my experience in my career till now. Okay, and this I found very interesting. Okay, but if you think okay, I can include some more things or review,
Mm-hmm.
if it's possible for me, definitely I will help on that. But cards is not my area. Okay, but
Okay, okay, not an issue.
okay, but I am just going to discuss with you about card. What is the flow of card? Okay, so at
Okay.
least that thing I'm going to discuss with you. All right.
Okay.
So we are going to walk you through this presentation in detail from tomorrow base. Okay. So we'll adjust the time. We'll ping you, and then we can start discussing on that. All right.
Okay. So at what time?
I will ping you, right? I will ping you, and we'll conclude. Means I mean to say we'll chat with each other because I have already batch is running. I want to complete your basic training, and then will you can join that batch.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So one girl is already there who is learning. So once I am done with your, she already done the basic part. So once you are done with the basics, so you can join with her like that.
Okay.
Okay. So till the
Yeah.
time, I want you to start with the first of all basics only.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay. What I will do, I am going to share with you the today's presentation, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that will help you to understand our scope. You can also go through it, what we have discussed today.
Okay.
Okay. But I believe, right, we have covered the things which are you expected, right? Everything at
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Actually, I am not means aware about the ISO payment. I just worked on the Swift part.
Swift means empty part.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, whenever you are talking now, don't talk in the layman language. We are now, you are not
Yes.
more professional now. Okay,
Okay, sure.
so don't say I learn only Swift. Swift is everything only. Okay,
Okay.
Swift is everything is Swift only or payment type only. There is a difference of MT and MX. Everything is Swift only now. Okay,
But now it is migrated to ISO, so that's why it's like not.
no. Okay, that's why we are confusing ourselves. Empty message means it's only message text. MX means message XML. Both are Swift message only.
Okay.
Are you getting? So
Yes.
after this, you have to say that I work or empty messages or ISO 15022 messages. Okay, so you have learn on your work on these messages, empty messages. Okay,
Okay, directly I can say that this
yes,
thing.
you work on empty messages. Okay, you don't have to say you work on Swift message. You can say I work on Swift empty messages and Swift ISO 222 we are learning now. So that is called ISO 222 and empty message is called ISO 15022. So every code, every there is ISO standard is related. So don't get confused that ISO only message standard. Even your big code, your country code also ISO standard. Okay, there is a ISO 2022 or 2055. These are standard for your country code. So like this there are so many standards. So you are going to see in my um, presentation when I'm showing it you. So those are also I'm going to explain you time to time about the different presentation of this uh, slides. So I will show you one before we conclude for today.
Here, one doubt here. For example, like if any like I'm getting the call for the interview, they asking that have you worked for the ISO Swift messages?
Hmm.
Then I'm saying yes, but the things that after that they're expecting that that is already migrated,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
So that that should be like completely aware about the Swift messages, Swift ISO messages, so that how I can like conclude it that yes, I have worked. Like how I can say.
So the basic thing behind is that you should be aware of the total format of the message. Okay, you should be able to explain the total format of the message. For example, if I ask you to can you explain pack set message, you should be able to explain how this pack set message look like. Okay, so if you say that okay there is a application header, and then we have group header, then fi to fi customer transaction header here, inside that we have group header, and if you're able to tell message id is there, this field is there, settlement methods are there inside this one, then we have postal addresses, instruction id. If you're able to tell confidently, and there are many correspondence banking system is there inside it, we call instructed agent, instructing agent. So it will come by the experience when you are learning it, reading it continuously. If you are
Okay.
able to explain it these things, they will understand that you work on this. Okay, not only this, but if you are to able to explain that what is the mapping of the field, 32 you know very well, right?
Yes.
32A, so how it is mapped to pack set message, fi to fi customer credit transfer information, the interbank settlement amount, then it come to amount. Okay,
So that means this mapping I should say completely.
yes, you should able to tell this I will tell you, don't worry. I will show you how to map also. This is not rocket science here, how to map it.
I'm just wondering that how to remember all these
No, no,
things,
no.
all the
I'm
field.
I'm I'm there to help you. This is start from here. FI to FI customer credit transfer. Okay. Then it come to here, credit transfer information. Then it come to here, interbank settlement amount and amount, like this. So I will. I'm there, right? I'm there going to, and you have to find, and once you understand one mapping, you can understand other mapping also, and don't have to by heart the mapping. At least you should aware of one, and nobody ask you in the interview complete mapping. You have to tell yourself that I know this mapping I know only. So like this, because nobody can
Okay.
remember this mapping from your side. Okay, so mapping, and then the vice versa mapping also. For example, ultimate data, ultimate creditor field are not there in MT103 message, right? Did you heard this?
Yes.
All right,
Yes,
so
I heard.
yeah, so where do you map these messages? You have to map in field 72 here somewhere, 72 or 70. So how this mapping is happen? So this thing also, even there is no cancellation message, right? In field in MT103. Sorry, we have to mention cancel word here somewhere, and then cancellation will happen. We don't have return message here in MT103. Have you seen the return messages? No. Only you
No.
have to use the word return here in field 70, and same MT103 can be return message. But we have separate message of PAX4 to return message, right, in ISO20022. So we are going to learn that uh, in a very much detailed manner of all these messages. That's why I prefer my session are longer. This not happen in a 1 or 2 weekend. I take some time, complete 24 hours, 2 hours, so in discuss in detailed way. Okay, so even I have some, and I'm also not stop myself. I'm daily learning something, for example, and if it is useful for you or anyone, I am just going to showcase that as well. Okay, this is JNI now. JNI payments are introduced. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
still learning that how JNI can be useful in our payment. I am not comfortable yet, but still I'm learning this. Once I'm comfortable this, maybe I can explain this also, how this is working. but
Sure.
but for that I always learn these things how it can be implemented. Okay, time to time.
Sure.
Then we have 4 months are going, right, for coexistence period. So how this coexistence will go on? Today it is migrated completely, but before that, in coexistence period, what are the things you have to take care? And going there's some presentation around it. Which messages are going to migrate it? Which are still? And what are the hybrid structure in 2016? We have hybrid structure totally get removed. So what is hybrid structure of addresses? That also we are going to learn. So these things are there. And one more thing I want to show you, which we are going to learn in very specifically in our presentations. There is a 900-page document we are going to learn. So this is this diagram. We are going to learn each and every field in a way. For example, if you see a PAX 8 message, so we are going to learn this PAX 8 message in detailed manner. Okay, whatever you saw, right? Number of transactions.
Yes.
If you see here,
Okay.
here is the word number of transactions. So like this, you are going to learn in detail, so you can remember everything
Okay.
about with the help of this. And one more thing, I am not telling something out of the box. This is available and given by Swift only. One more thing, okay, but there is some special access and download is required. I have taken this from Swift, so we are going to learn everything which is given by Swift only. Okay, only thing is that in a structured detailed manner, how Swift has duration as we are going to learn like this in okay, each and everything of this one.
Okay.
So this is our sessions course will be there for you when we are starting with this. Okay.